Okay, so we're reviewing for your test tomorrow that's going to cover sections 10.1 through 10.4. In the first slide, I want you to find the complementary measure and supplementary measure for each angle for 102 degrees and for 23 degrees. Find the complementary and supplementary. Make sure you identify which one is which. All right, so what's the complementary measure for 102? It's not possible. It's more than 90. Okay, what's the supplementary measure? 78. All right, so complementary is not possible. Supplementary is 78. What about for 23 degrees?
67.
And?
157.
All right, very good. Okay, so that's going to be the first section on your test. The next section on your test deals with your adjacent, vertical, and corresponding angles. So I want you to find the measure of angles 1, 2, 4, and 8, given the angle measure of 67 degrees. So angle 1, how do I find angle 1? Subtract from what? From 180. Why? Because it's what kind of angle to 67? They are, heard it. It's adjacent. They're adjacent, so I subtract from 180. So tomorrow, if you can tell me why that it's adjacent to 67 degrees, then you'll get a bonus point. All right, what about angle 2? What's its measure? 67, because why? It's vertical to the given measure, 67, or you could say it's adjacent to 1. What about angle 4? Why? Corresponding to 67. What about angle 8? 67. Why? It's vertical to 4 or corresponding to 2. Either explanation would be acceptable. So you have 6 possibilities to earn bonus points on your test tomorrow. So that's 6 points bonus potential. That's huge. All right. So we did unknown angle measures. Now you have a triangle. The measure of 2 angles in a triangle are 36 and 51. Find the measure of the third angle. Then classify the triangle by its angle measures. Use an equation to solve for the unknown, and then tell me what kind of triangle it is. So what's going to be my equation? What's my equation?
36 plus 51 plus x equals 180.
Okay, 36 plus 51 plus x equals 180. All right, and then what do I do?
You add the two numbers.
Yeah, you add the 2 equals 180. So what's 36 plus 51? 87 plus x equals 180. Subtract 87 from both sides. And what do you get?
93.
X equals 93 degrees. So that's your first answer. But what kind of triangle is this? We're not classifying by side lengths. These are angles. I didn't tell you they're sides. Obtuse. It's obtuse. I guarantee you I'm going to get scaling on the test tomorrow. But remember, that's side lengths, not angles. This is an obtuse triangle. Obtuse triangle. All right, now classify each triangle. Answer these 6 questions. You don't have to say triangle on each one of them. Just classify what type of triangle is it. Number 1, what kind is it? It's a right triangle. Number 2, obtuse. Number 3, acute. Number 4, equilateral. Did you spell it right?
No.
You have to spell it right.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Number 5,
No, I didn't.
scaling. Number 6, isosceles. Make sure you spell them right.
I almost had it right.
Okay, make sure you spell it right. So, know your different types of triangles. Now find your unknown angle measures. Find your x and find your y. Okay, so for, which one do I solve first, x or y?
X.
All right, I solve x first, right? Is that my general consensus? I solve x first? Okay, what is my equation? Everybody say it with me.
X plus 100 plus 102 equals 180.
Okay, now, okay, so I'm hearing a lot of different orders, but remember, order doesn't matter. X could come first, 100, doesn't matter as long as you're adding all three. Then what do?
You add two numbers.
Yes.
X equals 180.
Okay.
That's 122.
Then you get 38.
X is 38 degrees. Who got 38 degrees? Okay, so before we even solve for y, can we know what the y is going to equal?
Yes.
Yes, because this degree right here is actually going to be our y value, but let's double check. So our equation, 38 plus y equals 180, subtract, and yes, 142, it does match up. Okay, so that's how I find the unknown angle measure. Now let's talk polygons. Can you name each polygon and how many sides? All right, well, let's try. What's a three-sided polygon? Triangle. What's four-sided? What's five-sided?
Pentagon.
Six-sided?
Hexagon.
Hexagon. Seven-sided? Heptagon with a P, heptagon. Eight-sided? Octagon. Nine-sided? Nonagon. 10-sided? Decagon. Very good. All right, so now let's go back to quadrilaterals. I want you to now answer these 4 questions, okay, about quadrilaterals. What type of quadrilateral has one pair of parallel sides? Trapezoid. Very good. What about 4 right angles and 4 congruent sides? Nope. Square. 4 right angles. Rhombus does not have right angles. Okay. What about 2 pairs of parallel sides? Parallelogram. What about all sides equal in measure? That one's a rhombus. Okay, so you need to be able to identify them. This is going to be short answer on your test. Okay, so you need to be able to identify them. All right, so now let's talk about whether or not it's a polygon. The main figure in question is going to be this one. We'll talk about that one in just a minute, but just do your best on each one of these 5 figures. Okay, so is the top left one a polygon? No. Why? Okay, it's got curves. What about the top middle one? Yeah, it's a polygon. What kind? Pentagon. Very good. What about the top right one? No, it has curves. What about the bottom left one? What do you think? Okay, so it does have all straight lines, but here's the problem. It's not a completely open figure, meaning that the lines here, it's like 2 triangles connecting, but the lines intersect. And I can't have intersecting lines with polygons. Okay? Well, think about it. The interior angles of this figure, this is a figure and this is a figure. It's not one figure. Does that make sense? So this type of figure is not a polygon. All right? It's not a polygon, and I'm going to say because it has intersecting lines. All right? And number 5 is no. Why? Curves. Okay, so the curved lines are the main reason why figures are not polygons. It also can't be an open figure either. So it does have to be a closed figure, but the lines can't intersect either. All right, so now let's find the perimeter of this polygon, or of these 2 polygons. Find the perimeter of the 2 polygons. And one thing that I forgot to mention is that these are regular polygons. And remember, we can show them using our dash marks. That should help you in identifying what the perimeter is. Okay, so do my dashes and all of the sides. You don't have to draw the figure on your paper. Okay, all right, so find the perimeter of these polygons. So how do I find perimeter? I know that one of the sides is 5 inches, but since I know that all the sides are equal in measure, what can I do?
You can multiply that.
Multiply 5 times what?
6.
5 times, nope,
6.
7. 5 times 7. There's 7 sides, isn't there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 times 7 is 35 inches. Okay, well, at least you just counted wrong. You knew what to do. All right, what about the second figure? How many sides?
10.
So 6 times 10 is 60 centimeters. On your test tomorrow, it'll be easier to count the sides. So count the sides and multiply by the side length, and you're good to go. All right, one more slide. Find the sum of the polygon's interior angles and individual angles. That's it. That's all you get. Okay? So, now, the formula that was on the board for your quiz Monday for this is not going to be there tomorrow. You must know that you have to use this formula and have the formula memorized. Okay? So go ahead and use your formula. Find the total and then find the individual. Go ahead and try. Your formula that you must have memorized, n minus 2 times 180. How many sides are in this polygon? 8. So 8 minus 2 is 6 times 180 equals 1080 degrees. How do I find the individual angle?
Divide by 8.
Do you agree? Divide by 8, the number of sides, right, TJ? Is that what you did? So when you divide by 8, what do you get? What's 1080 divided by 8? That sounds right. 135 degrees. All right, so on your test, you have 2 questions like this. You have to find the total, and then you have to find the individual. Okay? And if you understand that, that's everything you need to know for your test tomorrow.